Out of almost 5 million people in this country, we are only 105 parties that are privileged to lead them. It's not because we are better than them, it's because we've been given a space. There are people out there that are more qualified than all of us in this room. But we were given a space to be here. Anyone you see in government was brought in government by 105 of us. Whether you are a minister, whether you are a staffer in the legislature, whether it's the secretariat here, 105 are approved everyone on the government payroll. They got to come through us. And that's why when somebody say, to whom much is given, much is expected, that's where it comes from.
Yo, what up, man? Check this out. It's your boy, +231 official, you know what I'm saying? +231 official. Don't pay attention to all the time towing, you know what I'm saying? Your boy, he's not in no game, you know what I mean? But anyway, we got a real issue out here today that we need to talk about, and it's about the presidential election in Liberia. You feel me? It's been like some 9 days now or so, 9 or 10 days. We haven't gotten a result yet in the Liberian election, and because why? I guess they need like a 50% vote in order for them to announce like the winner for the election. So anyway, before I get into detail, hit that subscribe button. Stay locked to every video I post, you know what I'm saying? I know it's been a minute, you know what I mean? I haven't posted a video yet. Your boy been busy. Anyway, what we got here today, we got a lot of issues to talk about. We got issues like the Constitution of Liberia versus the United States. We got the Liberian election to talk about. We got Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to talk about. We got Prince Johnson to talk about. Joseph Boakai, and most especially George Weah, you know what I'm saying? The sitting president of Liberia currently, you know what I mean? But anyway, before I go into detail, what we got? Let's talk about the election. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. It's crazy how we kind of adopt like the Constitution in a way from America, but we don't do some other stuff that America does. So, for example, we do not have the Electoral College vote. You know what I'm saying? I think if we do have the Electoral College vote in Liberia, it's gonna make things a whole lot easier. So, if you don't know how the Electoral College vote kind of work, do some research and you will know what I'm talking about, the system in America. But basically, each state has a certain number of votes that can make a candidate win. So for example, I think Minnesota, we got like 14 Electoral College vote. So for a president to win the state of Minnesota, or once you win the state of Minnesota, you win a 14 Electoral College vote. They keep counting that number and it reaches to a specific amount, they announce you as the president. So that's the system I think we need to have in Liberia. That's one reason, because we adopt all these constitution from America, but one thing we got missing is the Electoral College vote. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Republic of Liberia. In America, we say, I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? So basically, everything is the same. The only thing different in America with the pledge is one nation under God. In Liberia, we say one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It seems that we adopting all these things from America, but when it comes to certain things, we don't want to do it. So anyway, that's one thing about the Constitution, that some stuff need to be changed in the Constitution, and I think that's one thing we need to adapt. So, like how the election is kind of running right now, I think from what I just saw, the statistic, is about 43.8 something that Weah is leading, and Joseph Boakai has right now about 43.4 something percent. So the percentage, the margin is very close. But the question is, are they able to hit the 50%? I think they should be done with the counting. You know what I'm saying? So once they are done, are they able to reach one of them? Would they be able to reach that number? That's the question. So now, with that, let's talk about just us having two-party system, just like the Democrat and the Republican in America. You feel me? So, like I said before, we're trying to adopt these things from America, but we don't do certain stuff. So it just like the forefather in Liberia, they completely screw everybody up, and legit they screw everybody up. To rewrite the Constitution is gonna take a lot of amendment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of mandates and stuff. So a lot of things gotta be changed. So I don't know if they're ready for that. Not my generation or my kids' generation. Who knows? Something like that I want to talk about. So have two-party system. That way, the vote can be split, or it would be quicker for us to get a winner instead of having like 20. Like this last election, it's like 20 political parties. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or at least push it to like 4 or 5 should be okay at least. But don't have like freaking like a whole 20 political party. Sometimes you have like 15, sometimes you have like 25. That's crazy. So the political party need to be 2. If we really want to adopt the Constitution of the United States, we want to do things like America, we got to work on that also, the party system. So now, with the election, let's talk about NEC appointees. Madam Brown. So NEC stands for National Election Commission in Liberia. So this board chairperson, she was appointed by Judge Weah back in I think the 10th of April of 2020. She was appointed by Judge Weah, and then later she got confirmed by the Senate. So they later, like, you know, I guess the voter appointed and said, yeah, let's go with her. So yeah, now it's her. She got appointed by the president. Now, one question for you. Do you see any conflict of interest in this election? And that question goes, and it's because of this lady being appointed by the sitting president, the president that is already in power. Do you think she could twist the election to gain favor of Judge Weah, or Judge Weah could probably do something and give her something on the ground, or even offer her a better job when he win the next election? Do you think anything could be manipulated, meaning that a conflict of interest where she can get something in return, or she already got something in return because she was appointed by the president? So do you think, if she's not even getting money, but do you think she could be afraid to switch the election result and making him win? Now, bear in mind, I'm not in favor of any political party. I'm staying neutral in this topic, the discussion, everything gonna be neutral. You know what I'm saying? So now that's the question. Do you think she can manipulate the result and making Judge Weah to win because she was already appointed by him? It's like she pulled spoon on the table. I mean, he pulled spoon in her mouth, meaning that he kind of gave her a job. And before I go into that, let me just give you a little bit of background for this lady. She's an old journalist, retired journalist. She got a degree currently in public administration, a bachelor degree in public administration, and a master's degree in public administration from Cottington University. And her bachelor is from the University of Liberia. So she got her education in Liberia. She worked in Liberia for a long time. She did journalism, radio broadcasting. So, you know, she been on the media. Now, anyway, that's a little bit of history about this lady. And the very important question is, do you think she can manipulate this election in favor of Judge Weah, knowing that Judge Weah appointed her and then she was confirmed by the Senate? That's that question. It's something to think about. Now, another question I got in mind is, why Ellen hasn't supported her ex-vice president? She and Joseph Boakai were together for 12 years. 12 years they were together for. Now I'm saying, the past election, she did not support him. She supported Judge Weah, which is the current president for people that don't know. And then currently, she did not support him. She supported Alexander Cummings. Why she deviated from supporting George Weah, the first election, now to supporting Alexander Cummings. Now, even though he didn't go anywhere, I think he was like maybe the fifth on the list that got like the most vote. Can you believe it? Like the ex-president supported you and you still can't come like in the top three? That's crazy. But the question to talk about or to answer here or to kind of face, why is Ellen not supporting Joseph Boycott? Now, my thing is, from what I heard, they said somewhere along the line when Joseph Boycott was interviewed at the time when he was a vice president or when he was running as a president, the past election, he said something about bringing the war crime court to Liberia. Now, if the war crime court comes to Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf will have to face the war crime court too because they all participated in our politics. So she got to be questioned too. So do you think she's afraid that if Boycott wins, that he's going to bring the war crime court and then she probably going to face justice? Like, even if she doesn't get some penalty, but she's still going to have some question to answer, and that going to probably that put her credibility down. Do you think so? Now think about it. Just something to think about, why Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did not support her vice president at the time that they ran together for 2 terms, total of 12 years. Why she's not supporting him? That's very suspicious. It's just like in America, like Obama supported Joe Biden when Joe Biden was running for president. It would have been weird for Obama to go and support Donald Trump. You feel me? That would just be weird. Like, why are you a Democrat, you supporting Republican, or you're not supporting like your ex-vice president? That thing don't make sense. So think about that. Now, what do you think about the project? Because I've been hearing about this thing about George Weah, all these projects in Liberia. He's the one that undertaking them, but people fail to realize that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf signed a lot of these road projects, before her term was over. But people lacking some education, or I don't know what their sources are, but they're all saying all these projects that we got in Liberia is George Weah. Now, if all these projects in Liberia is George Weah, my question is, why George Weah hasn't won by now? By now, this whole election thing should have been confirmed that he's the president, because usually when a sitting president run for another term, that president usually beat his running mate by a wide margin based on how well that president did in the past election. But now, what do you think? You think if George Weah would have already done great the last election, his last term that he still got going on, do you think the Liberian people would have just voted for him very easy and make this thing be over with? Like, for me, I think so. I think that's what would have happened, because usually I think if someone really good, it's no question. Like, you got to get that person back. They got to do what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's how it is. So, but I'm not going to say anything. Like I said, I'm just going to stay neutral. But to me, I just feel like if he would have done really great, the people would have voted him. And this would have been very easy. Like, the results should have been called by now. He should have been the second president. Or the Liberian people just fed up. They're just tired with whatever that is going on in the administration. Maybe he's not doing good, blah, 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 whatever that is going on, or the country becoming very difficult, hard. So people are just fed up with the current government, and he's like the leader. So they probably just want to get rid of him. So maybe that's why. Or maybe if Ellen would have supported him this time around, he probably would have won by now, like he did in the past, like the last election. So, now on the issue of Prince Johnson, that's another important topic. We got Prince Johnson, ex-warlord, that is still in the country. Currently, he's a pastor, and he's also representing Nima County. You know what I'm saying? So the people love him. He been doing his job, advocating for the people. Everything been going good from the other side, but he was involved into some scandals that the U.S. ambassador imposed upon him, Nathaniel McGay, and another person. There were like 3 people that were involved into that corruption. So currently, he has this stigma that is on him that he cannot run for election or whatever. He got pretty much, he couldn't run for election because he got like a stigma that he got a sanction that he cannot leave the country. So it will make no sense to run for a president knowing that you're not going to leave the country. So I guess he just never decided to run for president because he's already had that thing on him. Or maybe he just want to just be to where he's at, represent people from Nima, and just enjoy his money until God calls him. But Prince Johnson, what do you think about Prince Johnson's ambition in Liberia? Because from what I heard, this Kun person, the vice president for Joseph Boyka, is related to him. I don't know if they are just related because they're from Nima County, or they are related, but from what I heard from few people saying, they are related some way, somehow, either like a nephew or some extended relative. So, what do you think about Prince Johnson's ambition, knowing that this other guy, the vice president currently running with Joseph Boyka, is from the same county as Prince Johnson, and knowing that he said something about Joseph Boyka, if he dies, Alexander Kun, like Kun gonna become the next president, and it was like an audio that was leaked. It was something that he said undercover, and it surfaced on the media, and it was a whole thing that was going on. So what do you guys make of Prince Johnson's ambition? Do you think if they win the election, if Unity Party wins the election, do you think Prince Johnson gonna be running things undercover? Because from what we all observing and what people are saying, Joseph Boyka's health is not really good. Knowing that his age, potentially he might not live for the next 6 years, or he probably will still live for a longer period, but he just will not be mobile. He won't be able to move around a lot. So meaning that the vice president going to do a lot of the work. And if the vice president doing a lot of the work, do you think he's going to get some advices from Prince Johnson, knowing that he's affiliated with Prince Johnson, or they are from Nima County, or he's going to listen to Prince Johnson? So you think Prince Johnson got influence of that man? Let me know in the comment, and let me know all these questions I'm asking. Put in your perspective. I will be glad to respond to it, or we can learn from each other. So that was it. You know what I'm saying? So if Boyka wins, I don't know if Prince Johnson just gonna sit in the back, run things, because Joseph Boyka probably gonna be too old to do a lot of moving around. So Prince Johnson is just gonna be the dude that just gonna be telling the vice president what to do. And in that case, he should just become an advisor. But they're not gonna choose him as an advisor, or maybe he might be an advisor. Who knows? He might quit his position that he got in Nima County as a representative and become a vice advisor to the president. And if Prince Johnson become an advisor to the president, now will Boyka accept him? That's the question. I mean, would Boyka want to accept Prince Johnson, or if the vice president kind of like just put out there like, oh, you know what? Let's get Prince Johnson as an advisor. Do you think Boyka gonna agree to it? Now, Boyka is riding on Prince Johnson a little bit, especially with winning Nima County, because Prince Johnson people are very loyal to him. So that's how he supported. Prince Johnson supported what's his name? In the past, George Weah, the past election, and all the Nima County people, they voted for George Weah. Why now they're not voting for George Weah? Is because Prince Johnson supporting Joseph Boyka. So now they support. That's why Joseph Boyka won Nima County. You feel me? So now, with that said, if Prince Johnson is running a lot of stuff in the background, what do you see the development in Nima County? Like, what do you think gonna become of Nima County? Will Nima County become the next capital city? Because they are already moving fast in development, and knowing that Prince Johnson really loved Nima County. So now, if his people, if they win Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you think if UP wins, that Nima County gonna get some better roads, and or Lofa County, Boaca gonna focus on Lofa County and fix the road in Lofa County? Let me know in the comment, you feel me? So, yeah, the biggest question here is there a conflict of interest for Prince Johnson and the Unity Party? Because we all know that he's not supporting this dude from Nima, the vice president, just for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? It got to be some conflict of interest. But do you see a conflict of interest? I'm not going to tell you yes or no. Drop your comment. Let me know what you think. Now, if Boaca becomes president, that's a very big question. So, from what I've gathered, the sources, Boaca been into the governmental position of power of something in Liberia for the last like 40 years or so. Kind of something like Joe Biden, you feel me? He been in this whole politics stuff for a long time. Do you think when Unity Party win, Joseph Boaca, which is the standing bearer, do you think he's able to take the country further? Let's just forget about his health issue and able to mobilize himself around. But do you see him having connection with the international community? Do you see him, because he's an older guy, do you see him being very wise and putting the country on the map? Let me know what you think. I'm not going to spoon feed you and give you my perspective, because some people are going to think I'm being biased. I probably don't like CDC. I like Unity Party, or I don't like Unity Party. I like CDC, so I'm not giving any perspective on this. I'm just going to give you the information, ask you the question, and you drop your comments. So let me know if you see any conflict of interest for Prince Johnson, or why Ellen Johnson is not supporting Joseph Boaca, or is it possible that Madam Brown, which is net commission, like the election commissioner, do you see her manipulating this election and making George Weah win if they go for the second term? Is that possible? Or do you think Joseph Boaca is wise enough with his experience, he's able to take the country further regardless of his health issue, but the connection that he's having? So hit that subscribe button again. Don't forget, stay locked. We all want to see Liberia going further, you feel me? We got some stuff going on over there, so we got to see the country moving further, because we don't want to see any stuff going backward, you know what I mean? So let me know your perspective on this election, on the question I asked, and I will be glad to answer, you feel me? It's your boy +231 official, you know what I'm saying? Africa to the world, you heard me? Stay locked, man. I'm out. Peace.